ultra-prime selections where we unravel the mysteries shaping our world. In today's episode, produced in collaboration with the United Federation Alliance, we explore one of the most enigmatic and unsettling phenomena of our time. Unidentified drones dominating North American skies and their chilling connections to decades of UFO, UAP, and USO activity. Drawing from an extensive 80-page dossier of meticulously compiled information, this presentation includes declassified and classified military records, modern surveillance data, and first-hand accounts from anonymous officials. Together, these sources provide staggering insights that raise profound questions about national security, cutting-edge technologies, and even the nature of our reality. Before we begin, a word of caution. Some of the revelations in this video may be unsettling. Viewer discretion is advised. If you're drawn to mysteries that transcend time and defy conventional thinking, you've come to the right place. Let's trace these phenomena back to their origins and connect the dots to today's ongoing drone enigma. To better understand the mysterious drone sightings over the United States and Canada, though Canadian media remains largely silent, we must leap back in time to World War II. According to officials from both nations, Canadian authorities have classified these encounters and restricted the media from reporting on them. Now, let's dive into the evidence. If you're not prepared with some snacks to fuel your curiosity, pause this video, gather your mind snacks, and join us on this thrilling journey. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Together, let's spread this vital information far and wide. To unravel the enigma of today's mystery drones, we must first journey back to World War II, a time when the skies were filled with more than just the clash of Allied and Axis forces. Amid the chaos, pilots began reporting encounters with objects so baffling that they seemed straight out of science fiction. These mysterious aerial phenomena, later dubbed Foo Fighters, were described as glowing orbs of light that defied the laws of aviation. Pilots from the United States, the United Kingdom, and even Axis powers documented these encounters. What makes Foo Fighters extraordinary is their consistency. Witnesses from opposing sides reported eerily similar details. Foo Fighters were often described as luminous spheres or disc-shaped objects, ranging in color from red and orange to white. They appeared suddenly, shadowing military aircraft at close range. Despite performing impossible aerial maneuvers, sharp turns, rapid accelerations, and abrupt stops, they made no sound and left no visible means of propulsion. One of the most famous accounts comes from December 1944, when a squadron of U.S. bombers flying over Germany encountered multiple glowing objects. These orbs trailed their aircraft for miles, mirroring every movement. Despite attempts to engage or evade them, the Foo Fighters simply vanished into the night. British pilots flying over the European theater reported similar occurrences, often describing the Foo Fighters as playful, as though they were toying with their aircraft. Initially, Allied forces suspected that Foo Fighters were a form of advanced Axis technology, perhaps a secret weapon designed to disrupt their missions. However, post-war investigations revealed that Axis forces had no knowledge of or involvement with these phenomena. Another theory suggested they were natural phenomena, such as ball lightning or St. Elmo's fire, but their intelligent, responsive behavior quickly ruled out natural causes. As the mysteries of World War II faded, new enigmas emerged. To understand the full scope of mystery drones and their possible connections to past events, we now turn to one of the most iconic and debated UFO incidents in history, the Roswell incident of 1947. What started as a quiet discovery on a ranch in New Mexico spiraled into a saga of sensational headlines, military cover-ups, and a story that refuses to fade from public memory. Our story begins in early July 1947, after a violent storm swept across a ranch near Roswell, New Mexico. William Mack Brazel, the ranch owner, stumbled upon debris scattered across his land. This wasn't ordinary debris. He described lightweight materials that were unusually strong, including metallic-looking foil, beams marked with strange symbols, and rubber-like fragments. On July 8, 1947, the Roswell Army Airfield issued a shocking press release claiming they had recovered a flying disc. Within hours, the incident captured national attention, but just as quickly as the story emerged, it was shut down. The Army retracted its statement, explaining that the debris was actually from a weather balloon. Witnesses, including Major Jesse Marcel, described the debris as beyond anything they had seen. Reports mentioned a memory medal that would return to its original shape when crumpled, beams marked with hieroglyph-like symbols, and materials that couldn't be cut or burned. Glenn Dennis, a Roswell mortician, claimed he was asked to provide child-sized coffins and overheard accounts of alien bodies being recovered.
After the controversial closure of Project Sign, the US Air Force launched Project Grudge in February 1949. Unlike its predecessor, which had initially entertained the possibility of UFOs representing advanced technology or even extraterrestrial craft, Project Grudge took a starkly different approach. Characterized by skepticism and a mandate to debunk, Grudge became a defining chapter in the US government's early investigations into UFO phenomena. Project Grudge was born out of the ashes of Project Sign, the first formal US investigation into UFOs. While Sign had aimed to objectively study the phenomenon, even considering the possibility of extraterrestrial origins, its open-minded approach faced resistance from high-ranking officials. However, a less publicized goal was to counteract growing public hysteria by providing mundane, rational explanations for UFO reports. Initially overseen by Lieutenant Colonel Harold Watson, Project Grudge quickly transitioned to other personnel with limited scientific expertise. Unlike Project Sign, Grudge lacked a robust approach to analysis and investigation. The project operated on a shoestring budget and with minimal resources, severely limiting its ability to conduct in-depth investigations into UFO sightings. Grudge adopted an operational philosophy of dismissal, attributing sightings to misidentifications, natural phenomena, hoaxes, or psychological factors, often without thorough examination. 2 commercial airline pilots reported seeing a cigar-shaped craft with glowing windows flying at high speed. The object's size and luminosity stunned the pilots, who described it as a technological marvel. Grudge dismissed the sighting as a bright meteor, though the pilot's detailed descriptions did not align with typical meteor behavior. A US Air Force pilot engaged in a dramatic aerial chase with a glowing object over Fargo, North Dakota. The object displayed advanced maneuvers, including sharp turns and accelerations beyond conventional aircraft capabilities. Grudge concluded it was likely a weather balloon, despite the pilot's credible account contradicting this explanation. Captain Thomas Mantell tragically lost his life while pursuing a UFO over Kentucky. Witnesses described a large metallic object in the sky, and Mantell's radio communications suggested he was locked in pursuit. Grudge attributed the sighting to Venus, a claim heavily criticized for inadequately explaining the events. In late 1951, Project Grudge released its final report, asserting that UFOs posed no national security threat. Most cases were dismissed as misidentifications, natural phenomena, or outright hoaxes. The report's tone was dismissive, reflecting the Air Force's desire to close the book on UFOs and quell public curiosity. Project Grudge marked a significant shift in the US government's approach to UFOs. By prioritizing skepticism and debunking, it set a precedent for future investigations to treat the phenomenon with dismissal rather than curiosity. However, this approach failed to quell public interest. If anything, Grudge's perceived lack of transparency only fueled speculation and set the stage for the eventual launch of Project Blue Book. With the closure of Project Sign, the US government shifted gears into 2 distinct yet interconnected projects, Project Grudge and Project Twinkle. While Grudge was steeped in skepticism and sought to debunk UFO sightings, Twinkle represented a more focused attempt to study a specific and alarming phenomenon, the green fireballs, reported over the southwestern United States. These 2 projects illustrate the contrasting approaches of dismissal versus scientific inquiry in the early days of UFO research. Project Grudge, launched in 1949, was the second official US Air Force investigation into UFOs, following the closure of Project Sign. Unlike its predecessor, which entertained the possibility of extraterrestrial origins, Grudge was characterized by skepticism and a clear mandate to debunk UFO sightings. 2 airline pilots reported a cigar-shaped craft with glowing windows speeding through the night sky. Grudge dismissed it as a meteor, despite detailed descriptions that didn't align with typical meteor behavior. a U.S. Air Force pilot engaged in an extended aerial chase with a glowing object over Fargo, North Dakota. Grudge labeled it a weather balloon, despite maneuvers that balloons cannot perform. Captain Thomas Mantell tragically lost his life pursuing a UFO over Kentucky. Grudge claimed the sighting was Venus, a conclusion that faced widespread criticism for its inadequacy. In 1951, Project Grudge published its final report, asserting that UFOs did not pose a national security threat and dismissing most sightings as misidentifications or hoaxes. This approach, however, alienated serious researchers and set a tone of skepticism that influenced future investigations. While Project Grudge sought to debunk UFO sightings broadly, Project Twinkle emerged in response to a very specific and alarming phenomenon: the green fireballs. First reported in the late 1940s, these luminous objects were seen frequently over sensitive military installations in the southwestern United States, including the Los Alamos National Laboratory and Sandia Base. Military bases in New Mexico were outfitted with cameras, spectrographs, and other tools to capture data. However, the unpredictable nature of the green fireballs made consistent observation difficult. Dr. Lincoln La Paz, a meteoritics expert, argued that these objects were not natural meteors. He hypothesized they were artificial, possibly experimental devices or even extraterrestrial probes. Project Twinkle's results were ultimately inconclusive. The green fireballs were fleeting and left little hard evidence behind. While some officials dismissed them as meteors, others, including Dr. La Paz, remained unconvinced. The project was terminated in 1951 due to a lack of conclusive data and dwindling interest. Official explanations downplayed the significance of the sightings, though skepticism persisted among scientists and military officials. While Grudge operated under a mandate to dismiss UFO phenomena, Twinkle represented a more open-minded, albeit limited, attempt at scientific investigation. Grudge sought to end public interest, while Twinkle highlighted the need for better resources and consistent data collection on UFO study.
Public governmental interest in UFOs had reached a critical age. Cold War was in full swing, with military readiness and technological advancements taking center stage. Against this backdrop, the U.S. Air Force launched Project Grudge, the most ambitious and comprehensive UFO investigation to date. Operating for more than 2 decades, it sought to analyze and catalog thousands of sightings while grappling with the challenge of balance book's credibility was undermined by the Condon Report, a study led by physicist Edward Hynek that concluded UFOs were not a significant scientific. This report provided a rationale for ending the Blue Book, finding the abilities of archive of data that continues to be a resource for researchers and historians. It also shaped public perceptions of UFO phenomena, fueling debates about government transparency and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. Unlike Project Grudge, which prioritized dismissal, and Project Twinkle, which struggled with limited data, Blue Book represented the most serious and comprehensive effort to study UFOs under the U.S. government's auspices. Its work set the stage for ongoing investigations and public participation. Among the thousands of UFO cases analyzed by Project Blue Book, few stand out as dramatically as those reported during NATO's Operation Mainbrace in September 1952. This high-stakes Cold War naval exercise involving multiple large-scale NATO exercise. Training and experience added weight to their accounts. Crew members observed a metallic disc-shaped craft emitting a glowing light. The object maneuvered at extraordinary speeds, performing aerial maneuvers far beyond the capabilities of known technology at the time. A British Royal Air Force pilot reported encountering a spherical and silver-colored object while flying near the exercise center. The object demonstrated radar operators noted that the object evaded detection, suggesting advanced stealth capabilities. Perhaps the most astonishing account came from the U.S. aircraft carrier USS Franklin.
facts over tracks. Listen, that spitting slow, spitting fast. Knock the roast, I get gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you are behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
UFO encounters.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams into modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Crash of a Soviet.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
Reportedly carrying a nuclear war.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Crash site. The U.S. team successfully disarmed the nuclear warhead, which was determined to be inactive. Speculation suggests that the unidentified flying objects disarmed the warhead. Reports of the strange lights were forwarded to Project Blue Book. While Canadian restrictions limited access to classified details, Blue Book investigators documented testimonies from local witnesses. The intersection of nuclear weapons, Cold War espionage, and UFO phenomena in this case underscores the broader geopolitical and existential stakes of such sightings. In March 1971, in the desolate expanse of the Arctic Ocean, the USS Trepang, a U.S. Navy submarine conducting routine reconnaissance, encountered something that defied explanation. The submarine's sonar detected anomalous readings, an object moving at extraordinary speeds beneath the vessel. Attempts to classify the object as a known vessel or marine life failed. It was unlike anything they had ever encountered. Moments later, crew members visually observed the unthinkable craft breaking through the Arctic ice. Photographs taken during the incident reveal a cigar-shaped metallic object hovering above the ice. The object demonstrated propulsion capabilities far beyond our known technology. It performed rapid maneuvers, ascending and descending at astonishing speeds before disappearing back into the ocean. Although Project Blue Book officially ended in 1969, the USS Trepang incident caught the attention of UFO researchers and former Blue Book personnel. Speculation grew as the Navy's classified files of the event remained sealed. Some skeptics argue the object may have been an experimental Soviet craft or advanced U.S. technology. But the lack of identifiable features and its extraordinary movements lead many to believe it could have been of extraterrestrial origin. The USS Trepang has since become a cornerstone of USO investigations, adding to the growing body of evidence suggesting that unidentified craft are not confined to our skies, but also to our oceans. Was this a glimpse into alien technology operating in the depths of Earth's oceans, or a secret project run by the Cold War secrecy? The truth remains there, just like the icy waters where we encountered. The USS Trepang challenges everything we think we know about our world. Are we ready for the answers that lie beneath the surface? Project Blue Book investigated countless UFO and USO encounters, but some cases stood out for their credibility, international significance, and the inability to provide definitive explanations. Two of these cases, the Shag Harbor UFO incident in 1967 and Operation Nova Scotia. The case was thoroughly investigated by Canadian authorities and was often linked to U.S. military interests. On October 4, 1967, multiple witnesses, including civilian RCMP officers and Canadian Navy personnel, reported seeing a large, glowing object descending. The craft emitted a bright yellow light before submerging. RCMP and local fishermen investigated the crash site, finding no debris but observing a yellow foam substance on the water's surface. Despite thorough sonar sweeps, no conclusive evidence of something. Although the investigation officially fell under Canadian jurisdiction, U.S. agencies closely monitored the case. Project Blue Book received detailed reports, noting striking similarities to other oceanic UFO sightings. Ultimately, the Shag Harbor incident was left unexplained. Project Blue Book reported credible cases of the target, highlighting the consistency of witness accounts and the unique characteristics of the event. During NATO's Operation Mainbrace in September 1952, several UFO and USO sightings were reported. One of the most remarkable involved objects emerging from the Atlantic Ocean, flying over North American airspace, and re-entering the ocean in the Bermuda Triangle. On September 19, 1952, a glowing disc-shaped craft emerged from the ocean near the USS Franklin D. Roosevelt. The object hovered briefly before accelerating into North American airspace at incredible speed. Military radar tracked the object as it moved southward in the northeastern United States. Traveling at speeds exceeding 2,000 miles per hour, the object eventually descended into the Atlantic Ocean near the Bermuda Triangle. Project Blue Book officially dismissed the sightings as weather anomalies or misidentified aircraft. However, internal records raised skepticism among investigators, who noted the consistency of radar readings and the credibility of witnesses. Both the Shag Harbor incident and Operation Mainbrace represent some of the most credible UFO and USO cases in recorded history. Detailed investigations involving military personnel and advanced detection technology continue to challenge conventional methods. These cases illustrate the complexity and diversity of UFO and USO phenomena, fueling ongoing debates about the intersection of science, military security, and the unknown. Numerous cases investigated by Project Blue Book, Operation Mainbrace in 1952 and the East Coast incident in 1950, stand out for their striking similarities and credibility. These encounters, involving unidentified flying and submerged objects, challenged conventional understanding of technology and the natural world. During NATO's Operation Mainbrace in September 1952, a major naval exercise became the setting for multiple UFO sightings. These incidents involved objects emerging from the Atlantic Ocean, flying over North American airspace, and re-entering the ocean near the Bermuda Triangle. On September 19, 1952, a glowing, disc-shaped craft emerged from the ocean near the USS Franklin D. Roosevelt. The object hovered briefly before ascending at high speed into North American airspace. Crew aboard the carrier and radar operators confirmed its trajectory inland. The object was tracked by military radar, moving southward over Canada and into the northeastern United States at speeds exceeding 2,000 miles per hour, far beyond the capabilities of known aircraft. The craft was later observed descending into the Atlantic Ocean near the Bermuda Triangle, further deepening the mystery. Project Blue Book officially dismissed the sightings as weather anomalies or misidentified aircraft. However, internal records revealed skepticism, noting consistent radar readings and the credibility of witnesses. In July 1954, a UFO was reported by multiple witnesses along the eastern seaboard, traveling from the Atlantic Ocean over the US East Coast and back out to sea. The event involved credible witnesses, military radar tracking, and advanced aerial maneuvers. Off the coast of Cape Cod, Massachusetts, fishermen reported a bright, oval-shaped craft rapidly ascending from the water. The object emitted a humming sound and glowed with an intense blue light. Civilian fishermen and Coast Guard personnel were among the witnesses. The craft flew over Long Island and New York City at approximately 10,000 feet. Witnesses included commercial airline pilots and passengers who described its erratic yet precise flight patterns. military radar confirmed speeds exceeding 1,500 miles per hour and sharp, right-angle maneuvers. The craft later descended into the Atlantic Ocean near Jacksonville, Florida, leaving a visible disturbance on the water's surface. The incident marked yet another example of UFOs interacting with Earth's oceans. Project Blue Book attributed the sightings to experimental aircraft testing, despite a lack of corroborating military records. Investigators noted the object's advanced capability and the reliability of witness accounts, leaving the case unresolved. Both the Operation Mainbrace incident and the East Coast incident highlight the diversity and complexity of UFO and USO encounters. Their similarities, including advanced maneuvers, high speeds, and interactions with water, continue to challenge conventional explanations. These cases underscore the persistent mystery surrounding UFOs and their apparent interest in Earth's oceans, leaving researchers and skeptics alike searching for answers. The Bermuda Triangle and the Hudson Valley UFO wave are among the most compelling UFO and USO cases in history. These events, though separated by time and geography, share striking similarities that challenge our understanding of Earth's skies and oceans. In 1962, a UFO sighting near the Bermuda Triangle involved an object emerging from the ocean, crossing over the southeastern United States and re-entering the Atlantic near Newfoundland. This incident added to the growing lore of unexplained phenomena in the Bermuda Triangle. Naval personnel aboard a US destroyer observed a luminous craft rise from the ocean. The object hovered for several minutes, emitting a bright green light, before accelerating inland. Witnesses included multiple naval officers and radar operators. The object flew over Miami, Florida, and was reported by both civilian and military pilots. It moved in a zigzag pattern at incredible speeds, leaving witnesses awestruck. The object was last seen descending into the Atlantic near Newfoundland. Sonar operators detected underwater movement consistent with the object's trajectory, suggesting it seamlessly transitioned between air and water. Project Blue Book officially classified the event as natural phenomena, such as bioluminescent marine life combined with meteor sightings. However, internal notes indicated skepticism, as investigators struggled to reconcile the advanced aerial maneuvers with known natural or technological explanations. Although outside the official timeframe of Project Blue Book, the Hudson Valley UFO wave of 1983 included sightings of craft believed to originate from the Atlantic Ocean. Witness reports analyzed by UFO researchers and former Blue Book personnel revealed intriguing connections to oceanic activity. On March 24, 1983, over 5,000 witnesses reported a massive triangular craft with bright lights flying silently over the Hudson Valley. The object moved slowly, its size and silence leaving a lasting impression on those who saw it. Witnesses in coastal areas of New Jersey reported seeing the same triangular craft hours later, descending into the Atlantic Ocean. This connection to the ocean aligns with patterns seen in other USO reports. Some researchers speculate that the craft used the Atlantic Ocean as a base of operations. The advanced technology observed during the Hudson Valley wave, combined with its link to the ocean, adds to the growing body of evidence suggesting a connection between UFOs and Earth's waterways. The Hudson Valley wave remains one of the most well-documented UFO events in North American history. Its connection to oceanic activity continues to intrigue researchers and fuels speculation about the role of our planet's waters in UFO phenomena. The Bermuda Triangle incident and the Hudson Valley wave illustrate the enduring mystery of UFOs and their interaction with Earth's skies and oceans. These events, both remarkable in their own right, continue to challenge our understanding of advanced technologies and the unknown. As the search for answers continues, new mysteries await discovery. The North Atlantic has long been a hotspot for UFO and USO activity. Two incidents, the Greenland Triangle incident of 1957 and the Canadian East Coast incident of 1966, stand out for their advanced aerial maneuvers, credible witnesses, and the involvement of Project Blue Book. In May 1957, military personnel stationed at Thule Air Base near the Greenland Triangle reported strange objects emerging from the Atlantic and performing coordinated maneuvers across North America. This peculiar case remains one of the most compelling examples of UFO phenomena in the region. On May 10, 1957, radar operators observed 3 separate objects emerging from the ocean in rapid succession. The craft accelerated inland at speeds exceeding Mach 3, defying known technological capabilities of the time. The objects flew in a triangular formation over Canadian airspace, disrupting commercial air traffic. Civilian pilots reported intense electromagnetic interference as the craft passed overhead. The UFOs returned to the Atlantic Ocean near the Azores. Sonar readings indicated significant underwater activity, adding another layer of mystery to their advanced capabilities. Initially dismissed as radar malfunctions, the explanation became untenable due to consistent radar readings and credible witness testimonies. Project Blue Book's Dr. J. Allen Hynek noted the synchronized behavior and technological prowess of the objects as beyond any known capability. In April 1966, a UFO emerged from the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Nova Scotia. The craft traveled inland, crossing several provinces before returning to the ocean, leaving behind a trail of credible witnesses and unexplained evidence. On April 17, 1966, fishermen near Shag Harbor observed a glowing orange craft ascending from the ocean. The craft hovered momentarily, leaving a yellow foam trail behind, before heading northwest. The UFO was tracked by Canadian radar installations as it traveled over New Brunswick and Quebec. Civilian witnesses described a low humming noise and intense light beams, adding credibility to the event. The craft was last seen plunging into the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Newfoundland. Witnesses reported a visible disturbance on the water, but no debris or additional evidence was found. Project Blue Book classified the event as a meteorological event, despite glowing trails and radar tracking that contradicted this explanation. Internal notes revealed that the case was left unresolved due to conflicting data and credible witness accounts. The Greenland Triangle incident and the Canadian East Coast incident highlight the complexities of UFO and USO phenomena. These cases, involving credible witnesses and advanced maneuvers, continue to fuel debates about the mysteries of our oceans and skies. These encounters remind us of the vast, unexplored possibilities beneath our oceans and beyond our atmosphere, keeping the search for answers alive.
In 1969, an extraordinary UFO sighting occurred over one of the world's most strategic waterways, the Panama Canal. This event, involving advanced aerial maneuvers and unexplained disruptions, remains a key example of UFOs' apparent interest in vital locations. On July 3, 1969, naval personnel aboard a cargo ship in the Caribbean observed a large, spherical object emitting a pulsating red light. The craft's behavior and its interaction with the Panama Canal make it one of the most intriguing UFO cases of its time. Naval personnel stationed aboard a cargo ship in the Caribbean Sea reported seeing a large, spherical object emitting a pulsating red light. The craft hovered silently above the water before accelerating toward the Panama Canal. As the object passed silently over the Panama Canal, multiple witnesses reported brief disruptions to radio communications and power systems. Its passage left observers in awe and confusion. The UFO disappeared into the Atlantic Ocean near the coast of Colombia, leaving a significant water disturbance. Witnesses noted its rapid descent and the lack of debris or additional evidence. Project Blue Book attributed the sighting to ball lightning or electrical disturbances. However, the object's size, pulsating light, and advanced maneuvers did not match known natural phenomena. Internal notes raised questions about UFOs' apparent interest in strategic waterways and energy sources. Project Blue Book attributed the sighting to ball lightning or electrical disturbances. However, the object's size, pulsating light, and advanced maneuvers did not match known natural phenomena. Internal notes raised questions about UFOs' apparent interest in strategic waterways and energy sources. The documented cases of UFOs emerging from the Atlantic Ocean, traversing North American skies, Canadian airspace, and strategic locations like the Panama Canal demonstrate consistent patterns of advanced behavior. Despite official explanations often attributing these sightings to natural phenomena, the reliability of witnesses and technological characteristics of the craft remain unexplained. These incidents suggest a broader phenomenon warranting continued investigation.
challenging us to rethink what we know about Earth's skies and waters. UFO activity near military installations has long raised concerns about national security. This section compiles cases documented by Project Blue Book involving unexplained phenomena over Canadian and American defense sites. These incidents highlight interactions with critical infrastructure, advanced technology, and unexplained interference. On March 24, 1967, Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana experienced one of the most well-documented UFO incidents involving direct interference with nuclear missile systems. Multiple personnel reported seeing a glowing red-orange disk hovering near the missile silos. Simultaneously, several Minuteman nuclear missiles became non-operational. Engineers confirmed no technical malfunctions, leaving the cause a mystery. Project Blue Book dismissed the incident as a coincidence or equipment malfunction. However, internal notes flagged the correlation between the UFO sighting and missile shutdowns as highly unusual. In May 1967, near a military radar installation in Falcon Lake, Manitoba, a civilian reported a UFO landing with physical effects that left investigators puzzled. Stefan Mukalak reported burns and radiation sickness after touching a landed disc-shaped object near Falcon Lake. Canadian military personnel confirmed unusual radiation levels at the site. Blue Book dismissed the case as natural phenomena or fabrication. However, physical evidence and radiation levels conflicted with the official conclusion, leaving investigators skeptical. In 1956, NORAD radar systems tracked multiple UFOs performing advanced maneuvers near Canadian air bases and U.S. airspace. Objects demonstrated advanced aerial capabilities, including sudden stops and sharp turns. Despite being tracked by radar, the objects disappeared over the Atlantic. Blue Book attributed the anomalies to radar glitches or experimental aircraft. However, consistent radar signatures suggested advanced technology beyond conventional understanding. On November 12, 1959, personnel at Goose Bay Air Base in Labrador reported a pulsating object hovering above the airfield, disrupting radar systems. The object remained stationary for over 15 minutes before accelerating vertically at an estimated speed of Mach 5. Radar data confirmed its presence, but its origin remains unknown. Blue Book classified the incident as a meteorological balloon or celestial misidentification. Witness testimonies and radar data, however, contradicted this explanation. Documented UFO incidents over Canadian and American military bases demonstrate consistent patterns of advanced technology and interest in sensitive defense installations. Despite official dismissals, corroborated radar data, electromagnetic interference, and eyewitness accounts suggest phenomena beyond conventional understanding. These cases continue to fuel speculation about the implications for national security and aerospace technology, leaving us with more questions than answers. Across North America, UFO sightings over key regions like New Jersey, New York City, Nova Scotia, and beyond have raised questions about national security and the unknown. This section explores documented cases involving corroborative radar detections, visual confirmations, and government investigations, many of which remain unresolved. On July 14, 1952, drivers along the New Jersey Turnpike reported multiple glowing lights in a V-shaped formation. Witnesses included law enforcement officers and civilians, whose accounts were later corroborated by radar anomalies at Newark Airport. Radar at Newark Airport confirmed anomalies corresponding to the reported lights. Witnesses described the objects as silent and moving with precision. Blue Book attributed the sightings to weather anomalies or celestial misidentifications. However, internal notes expressed frustration with the lack of concrete data despite the credibility of law enforcement witnesses. On November 15, 1954, a glowing object was reported by two commercial pilots flying over the Hudson River. Radar operators at Stewart Air Force Base confirmed the object, which performed abrupt directional changes inconsistent with conventional aircraft. Civilian witnesses corroborated the pilot's accounts, noting a bright light maneuvering at high speed. Blue Book concluded the incident was likely a weather balloon or atmospheric reflection. However, the object's unconventional maneuvers and multiple credible witnesses left the case unresolved. On October 4, 1967, residents of Shag Harbor reported a glowing object descending into the harbor. Despite searches by the Coast Guard and Royal Canadian Mounted Police, no debris was recovered, but divers noted anomalous underwater activity. Classified as unknown, the case remains one of the most credible in Canadian UFO history. NORAD tracking and underwater anomalies further deepen the mystery. On August 12, 1958, Fredericton residents observed a disc-shaped object emitting a pulsating red light. Military radar confirmed its movements, clocking speeds exceeding 1,200 miles per hour before the object disappeared over the Bay of Fundy. Blue Book classified the sighting as meteorological phenomena, though investigators noted discrepancies between the official explanation and radar evidence. On May 9, 1950, military personnel near Philadelphia reported a bright, cigar-shaped object hovering near the naval yard. Radar tracked the object for over 20 minutes before it accelerated out of range. Despite credible witnesses and radar evidence, the case was classified as an aircraft misidentification. U.S. Navy reports filed the incident as unexplained, citing the object's apparent interest in naval installations. On September 2, 1963, radar installations in Newfoundland tracked a fast-moving object entering Canadian airspace from the Atlantic Ocean. Witnesses described a glowing green orb that changed direction abruptly before vanishing. Classified as unidentified, this case was flagged as significant due to corroborating radar and visual data, as well as the object's advanced maneuvers. The documented UFO incidents across New Jersey, New York City, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and other regions reveal consistent patterns of advanced aerial behavior. Despite official dismissals, corroborated radar data, eyewitness accounts, and government reports suggest these cases remain unresolved. These sightings challenge conventional explanations, leaving us to question what lies beyond our understanding of Earth's skies and oceans.
This report consolidates encounters involving UFOs and alleged alien life, drawing from Project Blue Book, U.S. and Canadian government records, and declassified reports. These cases, spanning decades, provide detailed descriptions, corroborative evidence, and patterns that challenge conventional explanations. One of the most iconic UFO cases, the Roswell crash, involved a mysterious object that allegedly contained extraterrestrial beings. The secrecy surrounding this incident continues to fuel speculation. Rancher Mac Brazel discovered debris scattered over his property. Witnesses described materials that were lightweight yet indestructible, and secondhand accounts claimed the recovery of child-sized alien bodies. Initially reported as a flying disc, the incident was later attributed to a weather balloon from Project Mogul. However, internal skepticism remains about the secrecy and conflicting accounts. In 1967, Stefan Michalak's encounter with a landed UFO near Falcon Lake left physical evidence, including burns and radiation traces, making this one of Canada's most compelling UFO cases. The craft emitted intense heat and a beam of light, causing grid-pattern burns on Michalak's chest. Canadian military personnel later confirmed unusually high radiation levels at the site. Blue Book classified the case as unexplained. Physical evidence, including soil contamination and Michalak's injuries, supported the credibility of the event. In July 1952, a series of UFO sightings over Washington, D.C. involved objects performing advanced maneuvers over restricted airspace. The events prompted national security concerns. Bright lights were tracked on radar and visually confirmed by pilots, performing sharp turns and hovering. Despite military efforts, the objects evaded interception. Project Blue Book attributed the events to temperature inversions causing radar anomalies. However, visual confirmations from pilots left the case unresolved. The Travis Walton abduction case remains one of the most well-publicized alien encounter stories, with Walton's account corroborated by his co-workers and supported by polygraph tests. Walton claimed to have encountered humanoid beings aboard a craft after being struck by a blue-green beam of light. He was missing for 5 days, during which his co-workers underwent polygraph tests supporting their accounts. In 1948, Lieutenant George Gorman engaged in an aerial dogfight with a glowing white orb over Fargo, North Dakota. The object outmaneuvered his aircraft, demonstrating advanced aerial capabilities. Despite radar confirmation of an unknown object, Project Blue Book dismissed the case as a weather balloon, a conclusion contradicted by the object's speed and agility. The Shag Harbor UFO incident, alongside encounters like Falcon Lake, Roswell, and the Washington, D.C. UFO flap, highlights consistent patterns of advanced aerial behavior and credible witnesses. These documented encounters represent some of the most credible UFO and alien life cases ever recorded. While official explanations often cite weather or celestial phenomena, the corroborated evidence and witness accounts suggest a deeper mystery that remains unresolved. From nuclear missile sites to power grids and naval operations, UFO encounters have demonstrated an ability to interfere with critical infrastructure. This section explores cases where unidentified objects impacted communication, radar, and even the power supply, raising profound questions about advanced technology and intent. On March 24, 1967, Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana experienced a significant UFO encounter that directly interfered with nuclear missile systems. Witnesses reported a glowing disc-shaped object hovering above the missile silos. Simultaneously, 10 Minuteman nuclear missiles went offline without any mechanical faults. Systems were restored only after the object disappeared. Project Blue Book attributed the event to equipment malfunction. However, the timing of the UFO sighting and the missile shutdowns has kept the case unresolved. On November 9, 1965, a massive power outage left approximately 30 million people across the northeastern United States and Ontario in the dark. Coinciding with this blackout were reports of UFOs near power substations and transmission lines. Multiple witnesses described glowing, disc-shaped objects hovering near substations and key transmission lines. The blackout affected millions, creating widespread disruption. Declassified CIA memorandums noted unexplained aerial phenomena near substations in New York, while Canadian government reports filed the event under anomalous electromagnetic interference. During NATO's Operation Mainbrace in 1952, the USS Franklin D. Roosevelt experienced a UFO encounter that disrupted onboard radar, communications, and power systems. The crew observed a glowing object emerge from the ocean and hover above the ship. For approximately 10 minutes, radar systems malfunctioned, communication systems experienced severe static, and the ship suffered a power outage. NATO acknowledged the disruptions but attributed them to possible electromagnetic interference, despite the connection to the unidentified object. These documented encounters demonstrate UFOs' potential to interfere with critical infrastructure, from nuclear missile systems to power grids and naval operations. Despite official explanations often citing technical malfunctions or natural phenomena, the timing, advanced capabilities, and corroborative witnesses leave these cases unresolved. Whether these incidents represent advanced technology, natural phenomena, or something else entirely, they challenge our understanding of the systems we depend on most. UFO encounters often come with more than just sightings. Many incidents report electromagnetic interference, power failures, and communication disruptions. This section examines cases where advanced, unidentified craft seemingly interacted with human technology, leaving behind more questions than answers. On November 2nd and 3rd, 1957, drivers near Levelland, Texas, experienced mysterious electrical failures during a series of UFO sightings. Multiple drivers reported their vehicles stalling as a glowing object flew overhead. Headlights and radios failed, only to restart spontaneously once the UFO departed. Blue Book attributed the events to atmospheric electrical disturbances. However, the sheer number of independent witnesses made this case one of the most compelling. On October 18, 1973, a U.S. Army Reserve helicopter crew near Mansfield, Ohio, encountered a cigar-shaped object that interfered with their navigation and communication systems. Crew members reported temporary radio silence and erratic navigation systems as the object passed overhead. The encounter remains one of the most well-documented aerial UFO incidents. Project Blue Book classified the event as unknown, citing the advanced maneuvers and electromagnetic effects as beyond explanation. On September 15, 1963, a UFO near a NATO radar installation in Newfoundland caused radar and communication disruptions, leaving operators baffled. Radar detected an unidentified object entering Canadian airspace at high speed. Witnesses reported static and power surges coinciding with the radar contact before the object vanished over the Atlantic. NORAD records noted anomalous activity, but no further explanation was provided. On July 18, 1958, crew members aboard a Canadian Coast Guard vessel in the Bay of Fundy observed a disc-shaped object hovering over the water. The object emitted a bluish glow, causing electrical and communication failures. Systems returned to normal after the object departed. Canadian military reports classified the incident as electromagnetic interference caused by an unidentified source. During a naval exercise on August 9, 1969, the USS Maddox detected an unidentified object that disrupted radar and communication systems. The object maneuvered at high speeds and performed aerial feats beyond known aircraft capabilities. Communication systems aboard the vessel failed during the radar contact. NATO acknowledged the event but offered no official conclusion, leaving the encounter unresolved. On November 7, 2006, a UFO sighting over Chicago's O'Hare International Airport caused temporary communication disruptions, leaving airport personnel and pilots stunned. Several witnesses reported temporary radio interference as the metallic craft hovered and then disappeared into the clouds. The FAA attributed the event to a weather anomaly, though no meteorological conditions matched the description. These documented encounters consistently highlight electromagnetic interference, power loss, and communication disruptions during UFO sightings. With credible witnesses, radar data, and military involvement, the incidents suggest advanced technology beyond conventional understanding. Despite official explanations, the consistency and credibility of these events warrant further investigation into the phenomena and its potential implications.
Project Blue Book, the U.S. Air Force's final official program for investigating UFOs, ran from 1952 to 1969. While its mission was to assess UFO phenomena and their potential threat to national security, critics allege that the project prioritized dismissing sightings over uncovering the truth. This section explores the allegations of a debunking mandate, revealing patterns of systematic dismissal. Critics argue that Project Blue Book often predetermined explanations for UFO sightings, attributing them to natural phenomena or misidentifications, even when evidence suggested otherwise. Advanced aerial maneuvers and credible witness accounts were frequently dismissed with superficial investigations. One of Project Blue Book's stated objectives was to prevent public panic by providing plausible explanations for UFO sightings. However, this emphasis on reassurance often led to bias in investigations, prioritizing public relations over scientific inquiry. The 1968 Condon Report, commissioned by the U.S. Air Force to review Project Blue Book's findings, heavily influenced its final years. Critics allege that the committee's pre-existing skepticism further reinforced Blue Book's dismissive stance. During the 1952 Washington, D.C. UFO flap, multiple objects were tracked on radar and visually confirmed. Despite credible descriptions of advanced maneuvers, Project Blue Book attributed the sightings to temperature inversions, prioritizing calming public fears. In Levelland, Texas, witnesses reported their vehicles stalling as glowing objects passed by. Project Blue Book dismissed the events as atmospheric electrical disturbances, despite consistent and independent reports from credible witnesses. At Malmstrom Air Force Base, a UFO sighting coincided with the shutdown of multiple nuclear missiles. Blue Book classified the incident as an equipment malfunction, overlooking the correlation between the sighting and the power loss. Dr. J. Allen Hynek, Project Blue Book's scientific consultant, later criticized the program's dismissive approach. He described Blue Book as more of a public relations campaign than a serious scientific inquiry. Whistleblowers reported being instructed to find mundane explanations regardless of the evidence. Some alleged that cases suggesting extraterrestrial involvement were removed from Blue Book's files and forwarded to other intelligence agencies for further analysis. Despite the alleged bias, Project Blue Book left over 700 cases officially classified as unidentified, suggesting phenomena that could not be dismissed with conventional explanations. Project Blue Book's perceived dismissiveness contributed to public mistrust of official UFO investigations. Critics argue that its approach hindered serious scientific inquiry into unexplained aerial phenomena. After Blue Book's closure, allegations of government cover-ups persisted. The emergence of programs like AATIP suggests that UFO investigations continued in secrecy. challenging the notion that the phenomenon was ever truly dismissed. While Project Blue Book was tasked with investigating UFOs, its alleged focus on dismissing cases as conventional phenomena has left a legacy of controversy. Its approach reflects the delicate balance between national security concerns, public relations, and scientific inquiry, a balance that continues to fuel debates among skeptics and proponents alike. The truth about Project Blue Book's mandate remains as elusive as the phenomena it was meant to investigate. Project Blue Book, the U.S. Air Force's official UFO investigation program, ran from 1952 to 1969. Managed by a dedicated team of military personnel, scientific consultants, and technical analysts, the program shaped the way UFO sightings were investigated and perceived. This section profiles the primary case handlers who played pivotal roles in the project. General Edward J. Ruppelt served as the first director of Project Blue Book from 1952 to 1953. Known for his systematic approach, Ruppelt brought credibility to the program by introducing scientific methods and standardizing investigative procedures. Ruppelt coined the term unidentified flying object, UFO, and advocated for serious scientific inquiry. His book, The Report on Unidentified Flying Objects, provided an insider's perspective, shedding light on the project's initial goals and challenges. Captain Charles Hardin took over as interim director from 1953 to 1954. Under his leadership, the program adopted a more skeptical stance, focusing on reducing public interest in UFO phenomena. Hardin emphasized conventional explanations for UFO sightings, marking a significant shift in the program's tone and priorities. Major Hector Quintanilla served as Project Blue Book's final director from 1963 to 1969. Known for his skepticism, Quintanilla oversaw the program during its closing years, which were heavily influenced by the conclusions of the Condon Report. Quintanilla managed the project's transition following the Condon Report, which declared that UFOs posed no threat and lacked scientific value. While he closed numerous cases, critics argue many were insufficiently investigated. Dr. J. Allen Hynek, an astrophysicist from Ohio State University, served as Project Blue Book's scientific consultant from its inception until its closure. Initially skeptical, Hynek became one of the most prominent advocates for serious UFO study. Hynek created the Close Encounter Classification System, which became foundational in UFO research. After the program's closure, he criticized Blue Book for its dismissive approach, advocating for more rigorous scientific inquiry. Lieutenant Colonel Lawrence Tacker was responsible for managing public inquiries and media relations. As the face of Project Blue Book, Tacker frequently worked to explain UFO phenomena in ways that aligned with the Air Force's objectives. Tacker authored books and articles aimed at debunking UFO reports, reinforcing the Air Force's narrative that the phenomena had conventional explanations. A team of officers and enlisted personnel conducted field investigations, interviewing witnesses, and analyzing evidence to build case files. Blue Book occasionally consulted civilian scientists, such as astronomers and meteorologists, though civilian involvement waned over time due to the program's increasing skepticism. Radar operators and technical analysts played critical roles in corroborating visual sightings with technical data, particularly in cases involving military airspace. The individuals behind Project Blue Book shaped the program's investigative practices and public perception. While directors like Ruppelt championed scientific inquiry, later leadership leaned toward skepticism. Meanwhile, figures like Dr. Hynek became advocates for more rigorous UFO research, leaving a legacy that continues to influence discussions about government-led UFO investigations. The story of Project Blue Book's handlers reflects the tension between science, skepticism, and the search for truth in the unexplained. Dr. J. Allen Hynek, Project Blue Book's scientific consultant from 1952 to 1969, began his tenure as a skeptic. Over time, his meticulous investigations transformed him into one of the most respected advocates for the serious study of UFO phenomena. From analyzing radar data to investigating underwater UFOs and unexplained disappearances, Hynek's journey offers a fascinating perspective on the enduring mystery of UFOs. In 1957, multiple witnesses in Levelland, Texas, reported their vehicles stalling as a glowing, oval-shaped craft passed overhead. Dr. Hynek meticulously analyzed the electromagnetic interference, noting the consistency across witness accounts. Despite Hynek's recommendation for deeper investigation, the Air Force dismissed the case as ball lightning, a conclusion Hynek later criticized as insufficiently supported. During the 1952 Washington, D.C. UFO flap, Hynek examined radar data and interviewed pilots who reported objects performing maneuvers beyond human capabilities. Although Hynek privately doubted the official explanation of temperature inversions, the case was closed as a natural phenomenon. In Nova Scotia, witnesses reported a glowing object crashing into the ocean. Although Hynek was not on site, he reviewed Canadian military reports and sonar readings, describing this as a potential example of underwater UFO activity, or USOs. During NATO's Operation Mainbrace, sailors reported a glowing disk emerging from the ocean, hovering momentarily and accelerating upward without a sonic boom. Hynek reviewed witness statements and radar logs, highlighting the object's lack of conventional propulsion. In 1963, radar operators in Newfoundland detected a fast-moving object that disappeared into the Atlantic Ocean. Hynek collaborated with NORAD analysts, observing that the object's speed and trajectory were inconsistent with any known aircraft. Near Puerto Rico, a U.S. Navy vessel observed a glowing object entering and exiting the water. Hynek compared this case with others, theorizing that some UFOs might possess underwater operational capabilities. In Manitoba, Stefan Mikulak suffered burns and radiation sickness after approaching a metallic craft. Hynek reviewed medical records and radiation samples, calling this one of the most credible physical interaction cases on record. Hynek reviewed classified documents on a Soviet bomber crash in Canadian territory. Witnesses reported unexplained lights and electromagnetic interference, leading Hynek to speculate that UFO activity may have played a role. Hynek reviewed official NATO reports on UFO activity during Operation Mainbrace. He concluded that the frequency and credibility of sightings near military operations warranted further investigation. In 1965, one of Hynek's collaborators disappeared while investigating a critical UFO case. Witnesses described pulsating lights near the investigator's location. Despite exhaustive searches, no trace was ever found. Hynek privately speculated that the disappearance might involve non-human intelligence. Hynek developed the Close Encounters classification system, which remains a cornerstone of UFO research, categorizing sightings based on their proximity and physical impact. Hynek's experiences with unresolved cases transformed him from skeptic to advocate. After Project Blue Book's closure, he founded the Center for UFO Studies to continue the investigation of UFO phenomena. Dr. J. Allen Hynek's contributions to UFO research extended far beyond Project Blue Book. His open-minded approach and meticulous investigations left an indelible mark on the field, inspiring generations of researchers to look beyond the conventional for answers. Hynek's legacy reminds us that the search for truth often begins with the courage to question the unexplained. As we transition from historical UFO investigations, the spotlight now shifts to a modern phenomenon: unidentified drones. Over the past few weeks, concentrated drone activity has been reported across the United States and Canada, raising questions about national security, aviation safety, and potential foreign surveillance. Drones have been spotted near critical locations across North America. In the United States, sightings have clustered in urban centers like New York City, Chicago, and Silicon Valley, as well as military bases and energy hubs. Canada has reported similar activity near Toronto, Vancouver, and Halifax. Described as larger than standard consumer drones, these unidentified crafts exhibit advanced capabilities, high speeds, abrupt stops, and the ability to go dark when approached. Their flight altitudes range from 500 feet to over 10,000 feet. Patterns reveal clustered sightings near energy facilities, airports, and military installations. This behavior suggests a deliberate interest in critical infrastructure. In New Jersey and New York, drones have been observed near major bridges and power lines. Recent reports include a group of drones hovering over Fort Wadsworth, causing temporary communication disruptions and prompting FAA flight restrictions. In Ohio, drones were reported near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, leading to security lockdowns. In Illinois, drones hovered over energy substations, causing brief power fluctuations. These incidents have heightened concerns about potential reconnaissance missions. California remains a hotspot, with drones observed over Silicon Valley defense contractor sites and Navy vessels near San Diego. The Navy has since deployed counter-UAV systems to monitor this activity. Canada has reported similar activity, with drones delaying flights at Pearson International Airport and hovering over naval vessels in Vancouver. High-altitude drones near Ottawa's restricted airspace prompted the Canadian Air Force to scramble jets for investigation. Drones have caused temporary runway closures and significant flight delays in New York and Toronto. Pilots have reported near-miss incidents during critical phases of flight, raising alarms about aviation safety. Unidentified drones have been observed conducting surveillance-like activities over Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, San Diego Naval Base, and Canadian Forces installations. Concerns are mounting about potential intelligence gathering or the testing of counter-defense capabilities. Drones hovering near substations in Ohio and New Jersey correlated with brief outages. FAA and Coast Guard personnel have also reported localized radio disruptions during drone activity. U.S. agencies like the FBI and Department of Homeland Security are leading task forces to identify operators and assess potential foreign surveillance links. In Canada, CSIS and the RCMP are closely monitoring drone activity near sensitive sites. Existing radar systems face difficulty detecting small, low-flying drones, creating gaps in airspace monitoring. Meanwhile, delays in implementing remote ID technology have hampered real-time tracking and operator identification. As drone activity intensifies across North America, the line between surveillance technology and unidentified aerial phenomena becomes increasingly blurred. Are these events the work of advanced drone operators, foreign surveillance, or something far more enigmatic? The search for answers continues as investigators face technological, legal, and geopolitical challenges in uncovering the truth behind this modern mystery. From November to late December 2024, North America has seen a surge in mystery drone activity. These drones, with advanced capabilities, have been reported near critical infrastructure, airports, and military installations, leaving disruptions and unanswered questions in their wake. This section explores the details of these incidents and their implications for safety, security, and technology. Reports of mystery drones have concentrated in key regions across the United States and Canada. Sightings are often clustered near critical infrastructure, including nuclear power plants, urban centers, and military installations. These drones vary in size, some resembling small vehicles. Witnesses describe advanced lighting systems, erratic flight patterns, and altitudes ranging from 500 feet to over 10,000 feet. Their ability to suddenly vanish has puzzled both civilians and experts. In Morris County, New Jersey, residents described glowing drones emitting a deep hum and causing household lights to flicker. In Toronto, video captured 5 drones moving in a circular pattern over a residential area, dimming their lights when approached by aircraft. In Pennsylvania, amateur drone operators attempting to follow mystery drones reported sudden GPS failures and electromagnetic interference. One operator in California recounted, "My drone began drifting uncontrollably the moment it got close." In New York City, emergency service radios experienced static near the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, while pilots approaching JFK reported communication disruptions. In Vancouver, harbor authorities noted complete radio blackouts during sightings near naval vessels. Power substations near Dayton, Ohio, reported outages coinciding with drone sightings, with engineers noting unexplained electromagnetic activity. In Nova Scotia, residents described greenish lights and a 30-minute blackout after drones appeared near transmission lines. A commercial pilot approaching Newark Liberty International Airport reported a near miss with a metallic drone at 3,000 feet, forcing the FAA to reroute flights for 90 minutes. Similar incidents disrupted airspace near Toronto Pearson International Airport. A police helicopter in Chicago investigating drones near power substations experienced radar failure as it approached 3 glowing spheres. In Nova Scotia, a Coast Guard helicopter tracked a drone submerging into the ocean without a splash or debris. The FBI and DHS are spearheading investigations into drones near nuclear facilities and airports, while Canada's RCMP and CSIS focus on naval bases and energy hubs. Both nations are exploring potential connections to foreign surveillance programs. These drones exhibit advanced evasion tactics, including jamming radar and going dark. Meanwhile, legal restrictions limit local law enforcement's ability to deploy counter-drone systems, complicating efforts to track and neutralize these threats. With their advanced capabilities, mystery drones continue to challenge aviation safety and national security across North America. From eyewitness accounts to technological disruptions, these incidents demand urgent investigation and coordinated action. Are these the work of rogue operators, advanced surveillance programs, or something far more elusive? The search for answers continues. Donald J. Trump's leadership often extended beyond traditional boundaries, envisioning bold strategies for ensuring the safety, prosperity, and unity of North America and its allies. His discussions about integrating Canada, Greenland, and securing the Panama Canal reflect a forward-thinking approach to shared security and economic stability. More than just a nationalistic vision, Trump's proposals aim to protect the collective interests of the Western Hemisphere in the face of growing global threats. Canada and the United States share one of the closest relationships in the world, built on cultural, economic, and defense ties. Trump's discussions about integrating Canada were rooted in ensuring mutual security and prosperity for both nations. With growing global instability and advanced aerial threats, the idea was to build a stronger, united North America capable of responding to these challenges together. Canada's abundant natural resources, oil, fresh water, and railway networks, were seen as essential not just for the U.S. energy needs, but for bolstering North America's technology and economic resilience. By aligning more closely, both nations could safeguard these assets against external threats and strengthen their position in the world. With unidentified area integrating armed defense operations will enhance North America's ability to respond to these threats. Trump's vision underscored the importance of collaboration, ensuring that both nations benefited from unified security protocols and alliance capabilities. As Russian and Chinese influence grows in the Arctic, Trump's proposal to integrate Canada represented a decisive step to secure sovereignty in this vital region. By combining resources and expertise, Canada and the US will lead the world in Arctic security and innovation. Greenland, its strategic location of untold resources, has long been critical to global defense. Trump's interest in Greenland is not about domination, but about building a partnership that will secure its future and integrate its immense potential into a shared global vision. Greenland's location provides unparalleled advantages in monitoring Arctic airspace and responding to unidentified aerial threats. Trump's proposal emphasized protecting Greenland's regional position while enhancing North America's ability. Greenland's rare earth minerals are critical for defense systems to By partnering with Greenland, Trump envisioned unlocking its economic potential to benefit not just the United States, but the entire Western Hemisphere. Recognizing the Panama Canal's importance to global trade, Trump focused on securing its future against emerging threats. This vision wasn't about domination, but about ensuring the stability of a vital resource that benefits the Americas and the world. With drones and UAPs reported near canal infrastructure, Trump's plan focused on protecting one of the world's most critical trade routes. This would prevent disruptions to global supply chains and ensure economic stability across the hemisphere. Growing Chinese investments in Panama highlighted the need for U.S. leadership in the region. Trump's vision sought to ensure that the canal remains secure and friendly oversight, preserving its role as a cornerstone of the Western trade routes. Trump's proposal provides unparalleled security, integrating Canada and Greenland to secure Arctic operations, while protecting the Panama Canal and safeguarding trade. Together, these moves will cement North America's leadership in rapidly changing world. While these bold ideas carry challenges, diplomatic and resilience and global stability, ensuring a stronger and more unified North America in the face of emerging challenges. From the glowing orbs of World War II to the mystery drones of 2024, North America has been at the center of unexplained aerial activity. This section examines the striking parallels between historical UFO phenomena and today's mystery drones, highlighting recurring patterns and exploring their implications for national security and global geopolitics. During World War II, Allied pilots reported glowing spherical objects, later dubbed Foo Fighters, that defied conventional aviation capabilities. These objects moved with incredible speed, hovered silently, and performed advanced maneuvers, behaviors eerily similar to modern drone activity. Between 1952 and 1969, Project Blue Book investigated over 12,000 UFO sightings. Among them were cases like the Levelland incident, where vehicles stalled and lights dimmed during UFO encounters, and Malmstrom Air Force Base, where missile systems went offline as an unidentified craft hovered overhead. These incidents mirror today's drone-related disruptions, reinforcing the need for a historical lens in modern investigations. Modern drone sightings have clustered around strategic locations, from nuclear power plants in Ohio to naval bases in British Columbia. These hotspots align closely with areas of historical UFO activity, such as the Arctic and key maritime routes. Today's mystery drones exhibit advanced capabilities, including hovering, high-speed accelerations, and coordinated flight formations. Their ability to evade radar and disrupt electronics draws undeniable parallels to the phenomena documented during the Cold War. Historical cases like Levelland and Malmstrom reported electromagnetic interference. Vehicles stalled, radios failed, and missile systems were disabled. Similarly, in 2024, drones near Ohio substations caused localized power failures, and pilots near Newark reported GPS disruptions during drone encounters. Historical USO incidents, such as Shag Harbor, documented power surges linked to underwater anomalies. In Nova Scotia today, drone sightings near transmission lines have coincided with blackouts, suggesting a technological link between past and present phenomena. During the Cold War, UFO sightings near nuclear sites often triggered NORAD alerts, heightening fears of Soviet surveillance. In one instance, unidentified aerial phenomena brought the US to the brink of military action, mirroring today's escalating tensions with Russia and China. Today, sightings near Arctic regions coincide with Russian military activities, while Chinese drone deployments near strategic locations like the Panama Canal have raised suspicions of surveillance. These parallels highlight the enduring strategic significance of aerial phenomena. Both historical UFOs and modern drones are frequently observed in critical infrastructure, nuclear facilities, and key defense installations. This shared proximity underscores the potential risks of misinterpretation and escalation, reminiscent of the Cold War era misunderstandings. To address these recurring phenomena, a unified reporting framework integrating historical and modern data is essential. Enhanced radar and counter-drone systems, coupled with stronger US-Canada collaboration, will ensure better preparedness for future incidents. From the Foo Fighters of World War II to the mystery drones of today, the parallels are undeniable. These recurring patterns demand a unified approach, blending historical insights with modern technology to address risks to national security, infrastructure, and global stability. The stakes are high, and the lessons of the past make them key to security.
Glowing orbs of World War II Foo Fighters, the coordinated formations of mystery drones in 2024. These phenomena transcend time, geography, and exploration. This report unites decades of data to reveal patterns and assess their implications for security, technology, and humanity. Historical UFOs and modern mystery drones exhibit strikingly similar capabilities: high-speed maneuvers, hovering, abrupt directional changes, and the ability to evade detection reveal a shared technology. Advanced stealth tactics like radar evasion and electromagnetic disruption suggest sophisticated design, whether terrestrial or lunar. Unexplained phenomena have long demonstrated connection to water, from USOs entering and exiting oceans, modern drones disappearing beneath the surface. These behaviors challenge our understanding of caution and environmental interaction. Whether it's UFOs, These phenomena consistently target sensitive infrastructure. Such patterns raise questions about intent, surveillance, interference, or something else entirely. Both historical and modern phenomena suggest advanced reconnaissance capabilities. Their focus on nuclear facilities and Arctic regions impact potential links to state-sponsored intelligence or testing of surveillance technologies. As Russia and China intensify their presence in the Arctic and beyond, mystery drone activity aligns with growing geopolitical competition. Could these technologies represent adversarial advancements, probing vulnerabilities in the shared traits of historical UFOs and modern drones, advanced propulsion, stealth, and behavior inconsistent with human technology, invite speculation about non-terrestrial origins. Are we witnessing decades of extraterrestrial observation? Or is humanity itself an architect of an unexplained phenomenon? A unified database combining historical and modern reports provide a comprehensive framework for identifying patterns and assessing risk. Transparency and sharing findings across military, scientific, and civilian sectors is critical. Investing in next-generation detection technologies will improve our ability to monitor low-signature aerial and underwater objects. Enhanced surveillance systems will provide early warning and defense capabilities for sensitive installations. Given the cross-border nature of these phenomena, collaboration with allies like Canada and NATO partners is essential. A joint task force will strengthen North America's defense against emerging aerial threats. Funding interdisciplinary research into advanced propulsion and electromagnetic phenomena will deepen our understanding of these technologies, whether terrestrial or extraterrestrial potential. The parallels between historical UFO activity and modern mystery drones are undeniable, revealing consistent patterns that challenge our understanding of technology, security, and intent. As global tensions rise, the need for rigorous investigation and collaboration has never been greater. By learning from the past and preparing for the future, we can illuminate the unknown and safeguard the present. The mysteries of the skies and seas have captivated humanity for decades, yet only a few have dared to confront the questions that truly matter. What are these objects? Where do they originate? And most importantly, what implications do they hold for the future of humanity? Now, behind closed doors, high-ranking officials and experts who have spent their lives investigating these phenomena are breaking their silence, anonymously for the first time, to reveal truths that challenge everything we think we know. We've studied them for decades. These objects, call them UAPs, drones, or something else entirely, consistently appear before, during, and after major conflicts. They've been observed in the lead-up to World War II, the Cold War, and now, as global tensions escalate once more, their activity has surged. Just like in past historical events, government responses were designed to deter you from the truth, whether by covering it up, diverting attention, or sharing only the bare minimum. This isn't new. The pattern has always been to control the narrative, either to prevent mass panic or to maintain strategic advantages. In light of these revelations, some officials have raised the idea of a unified North America, a collaboration or integration under the leadership of the United States. Such a union could provide unmatched advantages in responding to these unprecedented challenges. A unified defense strategy would bolster security across the Arctic, streamline surveillance in response to UAP activity, and consolidate access to critical resources, including energy reserves, rare earth minerals, and advanced research facilities. Beyond security, this unity could foster greater economic resilience, technological innovation, and a cohesive response to any emerging threats, terrestrial or otherwise. As officials suggest, the complexities of the modern world demand a North America that acts not as separate entities, but as one united force for the protection and progress of all its people. One thing is clear: being prepared is no longer optional. The unpredictable nature of our world, from the threats in our skies to the challenges on our lands, means we must be ready for anything. Whether it's a world war, a natural disaster, or an unforeseen invasion, preparation is key. As we at Ultra Prime Selections like to say, prepare for anything, celebrate everything. Because preparedness isn't just about survival, it's about resilience. It's about ensuring that no matter what comes, we stand strong, united, ready to face the future. The objects themselves. It's what happens if the public loses control. Panic is the enemy. When people panic, society unravels. Our ability to protect you diminishes when fear overtakes rationality. That's why governments remain silent. It's not to deceive, but to buy time. Time to understand, time to prepare. Even me telling you this, giving you these details, is a risk. It's dangerous enough just pointing you in this direction. But the truth matters. What we're dealing with transcends borders, ideologies, and technology. It's something far bigger than any one nation. The truth is out there, and it's closer than ever before. Whether it's our skies, our seas, or the shadows of our laboratories, we stand at the edge of discovery. The only question that remains is, are we ready for what we might find? Thank you for watching. Hopefully this video has opened your mind and inspired you to look deeper, to question, and to think critically about the mysteries that surround us. Look at the evidence, look at history, connect the dots, and ask yourself, what's really out there? And remember, your support means everything to us. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Together, we can continue exploring, discovering, and preparing for whatever the future holds. Thank you, and until next time, stay curious, stay prepared. This is only the beginning. The truth is out there, waiting for those brave enough to seek it. Stay prepared, stay curious, and together we'll face whatever comes next. Thank you for watching. Prepare for anything, celebrate everything.